So back to Maroochydore Beach here. Now, well, I'm just coming down from the end of that last men's board final, but now the open iron women on the line getting ready to go. Josh, take us through this field.
Yeah, we've got another crack field here. We've got the Mooloolaba trio at the top there. A couple from BMD Northcliffe, but the one to watch, Jordan Mercer, she's looking for redemption after what happened last round at home in Thirroul. She almost got there, but was pipped at the post by Carly Nerthen, and I'm expecting another ding-dong battle from those two here. And we've got Natalie Peet there from Currumbin, Danielle Radford from North Burleigh, Tian Raymond, one of the professional iron women out of Mooloolaba, and what can we say about Eliza Smith? She's in everything, isn't she, Kurt?
Yeah, so consistent throughout this summer of surf so far, but I guess so critical in this Ironman race, this order, ski, board swim. The girls would really enjoy this order because you want to hit this ski leg fresh, and so you can attack this break that's quite heavy, at least at full strength.
Oh, I know, but then saying that, they've got swim last, and there's probably nothing worse than going into big conditions like this with the swim last. It's going to be tough either way, but I think it'll be decided in these first few legs. I think after the first two legs, it's probably going to be over, and whoever handles this break the best on the craft will come out in front.
Yeah, so once again, there's one off the ski here.
Oh, two off there.
Yeah, two off in that gutter. So it's the two breaks that we're talking about. That inshore break first, then they go through that little gutter. Maybe they get 10 seconds of rest, and then it's back on, turn it on, and luckily this time that back break has kind of eased up for them.
Oh, that right-hand side's just snuck out there. They haven't been touched going through the back break, like you said, but it's some of those girls who've been cleaned up on the inside. They're going to have to deal with this as they crash through. Who's that? It's Carly Nerthen. She's just been belted, and we can see a couple either side of her have come off, so she's going to have to get back on and get it going again as we see a few climbing on it. Oh, gee, almost over. This is tough out here.
Yeah, there's no real technical way to get back on a ski. You just got to get on as quick as you can and get that rating up as fast as possible.
That's it. Throw the leg over, climb on, and get back going. So there, you see the girls, the ones that haven't been hit. That looks like Amy Nerthen out in front. Geordie Mercer's chasing hard. She looks comfortable. She looks like she's having a good time there. Good technique, and she's done really, really good job there.
So Amy Nerthen, we haven't seen too much of her at the Summer of Surf as she's on screen now. The older sister of Carly Nerthen. She's in that Nutrigrain series, obviously, and hailed from the Central Coast there, Shelley Beach, as we're on board with Jordan Mercer, but now up on the Sunshine Coast at Mooloolaba as well.
Yeah, she made the move a few years ago, just before her sister Carly's moved up to join her and train with her, and the two love training together. They spend all their time together then, and it's really rubbing off on Carly, and I think Amy's commitment and the way Amy works is shown through Carly in the Summer of Surf. She's doing well, and she's the next generation who just wants to be like her older sister.
Yeah, Carly Nerthen, what a fighter she is. She's going to have to fight here, though. Sixth spot, not the best start. Some of these girls making their way back in now. Amy Nerthen chasing the runners. And they're only petite girls. They're not big girls, are they? They're only short, but gee, they're powerful.
Oh, that's it. And for them, coming in here is going to be all about managing the surf. They're not going to take off on the huge sets because they know they'll get cleaned up. As we see Amy and Geordie have both picked up little ones that'll run the whole way in. It'll let them rest. They've done it perfectly here. It's been a really, really good display of skills and course management from these two.
Well, they call it the Sunshine Coast. It's about time the sun came out, and finally we see some. It's been really gnarly conditions so far. So a little bit of sunshine here, and, well, plenty of sunshine in front for Amy Nerthen at the moment. Just a little bit of a wave lead over Jordan Mercer in second spot. So you can see Amy Nerthen just pulling over this double up. She'll hit the beach first. Nicely done. Off she gets, and Jordan Mercer right behind her. No, she's just slipped off again, but that won't be a big deal.
Yeah, it's not a big deal, but those little mistakes, they're the 5 metres. Oh, as we see a couple of skis out the back, that looks like Carly Nerthen. I think that's Laura McGlone's ski as well. They're swimming in, so this gap's going to go from 10 metres to probably 100 metres as they're swimming in and the girls are running. It'll make all the difference in the end.
We'll speak about running this transition of Jordan Mercer. It's been a highlight of her career, and you talk about strengths and weaknesses in the Ironwoman race. For her, swim has always been a weakness of hers, but gee, her transitions are a massive strength.
Oh, that's it. She's more of a board runner, and you see by the way she attacks those transitions. She's going to attack this board leg. Amy's a good board paddler as well. She's going to be red hot on her tail going out here, and they've got a massive gap back here. That looks like Steph Purser from Currumbin and Kirsty Higginson from Mooloolaba. These girls have got a lot of work to do from here.
Yeah, Higginson in there, Ella Brown as well. Plenty of work to do for these girls coming into this board leg. They've got to work together. Eliza Smith, Carly Nerthen, they're so far back.
Yeah, that's it. Those mistakes they made there on the ski when they came off, they're going to make all the difference in the end here. It's going to take a mammoth effort for these girls to catch up. They're probably 100 metres behind.
So now they're going in a fair way. They're heading south. So obviously heading south, that sweep's starting to go right to left when we look out to sea, and they're trying to take that into consideration.
Yeah, we saw in the men's board race that southern side, it's probably a little bit more gnarly early on as we see more girls coming around. That ski's really sorted them out. That's Tian Raymond. She's a professional Ironwoman and one of the better ski paddlers in the field. And look how far she is behind, but it's all Amy Nerthen out in front here as we see Amy's just made the move as she crashes through another one there, and Geordie's trying to get hot on her tail. And as we go back with Carly, that right-hand side, it seems to be a little harder on the inside, but once you get through it, the water's moving a lot quicker out the back. So they're going to try and work hard in the shore break and then make their move out the back.
Oh, nothing going right for Carly Nerthen today. So maybe it's time for Big Sister to take up the running.
Oh, and it looks like it is. She's showing her how it's done.
But Jordan Mercer right there now. We know what a great board paddler Jordan Mercer is. Obviously, Molokai Tuawahu, she's won that a few times now. She's so at home on the board, and hooking in now on Amy Nerthen as we're on board with Carly here. Just the surf just building up a little bit on her again. She gets hit by another one, but just trying to work her way into this race. But now it looks like Jordan Mercer just resting up.
Oh, sits up and she goes to another. Some days it just doesn't go right for you. It seems like this isn't Carly's day, and she's just copping it. And as she cops it, she gets knocked backwards. The girls are cruising out the back, and they're going around the cans and putting more and more distance in these two. So it looks like a two-horse race at this point, but you never know. In conditions like this, one mistake and you can bring the whole field back into it.
Yeah, definitely these girls have a big lead on the rest of the field, and it's one-on-one at the moment. They take a long look back, and it's a long way back. Amy Nerthen in one, Jordan Mercer in two as they go around the cans. Some of these girls still trying to get through this break.
They're still getting belted on the inside there. Look how tough this is. They're just going to sneak out. There's no rolling under, belted.
No choice.
And there's nothing worse in surf life saying than ended up underneath one and getting creamed like that. But you can see from that shot just how far they are in front. That's almost the full can's length of the board leg out there. So these girls, if they make no mistakes here, it's going to be a race in two for the rest of the day.
So we saw Jordan Mercer for most of this board leg just resting up behind Amy Nerthen, buying her time as we go back to this battle for third spot here, and pretty tight between the two Mooloolaba teammates.
Yeah, that looks like Ella Brown and Kirsty Higginson. They're two great board paddlers just like out in front, and Carly Nerthen's done a great job. She's passed two on the way out and she's put herself back in here. She's probably the best swimmer out of this top five to go round. She'll look to jump on Ella Brown's feet, use her on the way out, but it's a massive gap. Look how big that is, Kurt. Far out.
It's huge. It's Mercer and Amy Nerthen stroke for stroke. Daylight in third, but here they go both down this one, and no risks here. Straight to the back straps and keep that board straight, pointing to the beach, and nice back, keep that nose up.
And when it's bad for Carly Nerthen, some days it's just good for you, and it looks to be great here for Geordie Mercer and Amy Nerthen. And like you said before, Geordie's rested up the whole way round, and we've seen a new swim leg from Geordie this year. She's really worked hard at it, so it'll be interesting to see. They're not the strongest swimmers in the field, but they're going in together and they're going in relatively fresh, so it's anyone's race at this point.
Yeah, Jordan Mercer looking at redemption here in this race after being beaten by Amy Nerthen's younger sister Carly in that last round at Thirroul. That'll be firmly in her mind. She'll want to set the record straight here today, but Amy Nerthen, she's a fighter as much as her sister is as well. It's in the blood, in the Sunny Coast blood. They were born and raised that way, and now really doing a great job for the Mooloolaba Club. You can see handler and father Darren Mercer, former Ironman champ, pointing, get south, that sweep's going to take you north.
The girls are tired at this point. They're going into the swim. They're really going to be struggling as we see. Look how far they're going out in the swim, and these girls are still coming back on the board. So that looks like Ella Brown there. She's a strong swimmer. She's not out of it at this point. She and Amy and Carly Nerthen's done really well, but she'll sit up, wait for this wave, and I think third place is the best these girls can hope for at this point.
Yeah.
But the girls are going to have to run down. They're not as strong as the men. They're going to really have to make an effort to use that sweep out the back of the break, and yeah, it's tough going here in this third leg.
Yeah, maybe a chance here for Ella Brown. She's got to be the best swimmer in this lead group. Oh, here's Laura McGlone as well from Northcliffe. So they're two of the girls that you would see on that front line in an Australian Open surf race final as they come across, but plenty of work to do. There's third. Then we go back Laura McGlone for great transition here by Carly Nerthen. Kirsty Higginson right there. It looks like Carly Nerthen, a little bit of a pep in her step as well. She really did that transition quickly.
She seemed so out of it before. When she finally got back into it, she might get a second wind here and think, geez, I've come all this way, why not keep going? And in conditions like this, she's still genuinely a shot. It could come down to the final part, but there's probably nothing harder than going into the third leg of an Ironman, into the swim, big conditions. It's a long swim too, so there's a lot of work to be done here from these girls.
Yeah, we saw Eliza Smith now just coming through transition here a long way back, probably a minute 30 plus, and we know what a phenomenal swimmer she is. Well, she won the surf race here earlier today, and you can see her handler there from the Northcliffe Club, Kevy Morrison, pointing, you've got to get your butt south, because if you miss that that sweep going right to left, having to come back against the sweep is almost near impossible.
Oh, especially like this. And the problem is the girls are tired here, so they're making mistakes. That's why the handlers are pointing down as we see that Amy and Geordie Mercer out the back. They've split up a little bit, and it looks like Geordie's just sort of inside the can a little bit. Amy's probably taken a better line to it, and that's interesting because line plays a big role out here, and she's done well. She's probably got a body length gap on her here, or maybe a bit more, 2 body lengths gap, just by choosing the right line to the can.
Yeah, not a big surprise, really. Amy Nerthen, a great swimmer. Jordan Mercer, the swim leg of weakness, and you can just see the stroke. Look at the thrash. You can see the right arm really thrashing home, but she's a lot like her great uncle in Dean Mercer. It wasn't pretty, but it was all guts. Just get the rating up and just get it through it as much as you can.
That's it. On days like today, the surf isn't pretty, so I don't think your swim has to be too pretty. As we see they're back together here, pushing.
Waves!
Heads
look at
down.
Mercer
Gets
she goes.
it.
Look at this.
What
a couple
an
of butterflies as well there, just
wow,
to absorb the
great
shock
job.
of that wave. And now she straightens out. So Amy Nerthen, another butterfly again. Look at this. And now she's streamlined, head down, milking it. Dies off in the gutter.
Oh, that's a winning move there, Kurt. That's it. That little extra head down, a couple extra strokes, and she's got 50 metres on Geordie, and she's going to pick up another one here, and that looks like race over. Geordie Mercer.
She catches it broken, and a couple of more butterflies.
Wow, they're great.
And there we go. Now streamlines again. So great lessons to those kids at home. Do the couple of butterflies early, streamline it then when it starts to die off. But she's in the water now. That little metre made all the difference. Amy Nerthen, 1 metre to the right. She was on that wave, but she missed it. And now this is all Geordie Mercer redemption. It's going to taste so sweet.
Oh, it can be so cruel at times. Amy did all the right things there, but Geordie was just in the right place at the right time, and she's so happy to get that. Oh, she high-fives Dad, and this is redemption here, Kurt. She's done such a great job. She really deserves this one today.
So we remember all too well round 5 there at Thirroul. Mercer pipped on the line, not this time. The big fist pump, and it's Jordan Mercer first, Daylight second as she comes to the line, and what a victory it is. Oh, she has done the pirouette and the double pump just to look back and make sure there was no one there.
Yeah, she wasn't going to let it happen a second time, that's for sure, and she had enough space there to do well, and look how far that wave's taken her out in front. Amy Nerthen, an impressive performance today. She was on the front for most of the day, and she'll be happy with that one, even though she got pipped at the post there. It's all the right signs leading for the rest of the summer.
Yeah, that's surf, isn't it? And Amy Nerthen, she couldn't have done anything better than what she did. Just missed that wave by maybe a stroke. Her hand was through it, but obviously a good job by her today. She'll cruise up for second spot. And, well, Jordan Mercer, she can have a walk. She can afford to have a little bit of a stroll.
Yeah, they were that far out in front from early on. She's done a great job. And, yeah, the two girls, these are two girls at the top of the sport, fighting it out, going toe-to-toe the entire day. So it was an impressive performance from both, and both will take a lot from this.
Yeah, both in the Nutrigrain series as well. So they've been around a long time. They know what it's all about. And she'll cross the line, all smiles. Of course, these girls, they know each other so well. Hugs all around. But the battle on now for third. Looks like Laura McGlone, the swimmers have come to the top.
That's it. They've really made an effort to get through here, and it's not over till it's over, and Laura's done a great job to swim in here, and she looks like she'll take third at this point.
Yeah, so where's the rest of them? Oh, hang on, hold the phone.
Oh, not again.
Look, here's Carly Nerthen's come again, and she's really putting in the big ones. McGlone trying to hang on.
She does it every week.
It's like a mirror image of last week, this time for third, and she's done it again.
Twice, how's that?
Oh, Carly Nerthen.
You can't count her out until the last stroke, can you? And she's shattered at this point.
Oh, she just put herself in an absolute world. And it's just that guts, that glory. She's just so tough when it comes down to it, and that's what makes her such a competitor and why she's so well in these overall standings. Carly Nerthen rounds out the top 3 here in this Open Iron Woman final. So let's take a look at the results here for round 5, our Summer of Surf Open Iron Woman final. And no doubts about the winner this time around. Jordan Mercer does it in style. She looked back to make sure, but it was all her for the win from the Noosa Heads Club, ahead of a very unlucky Amy Nerthen there from Mooloolaba in that final swim leg. And then what about that sprint finish? Carly Nerthen delivers again to get that podium placing from Mooloolaba ahead of Laura McGlone. And it's really been a standout of the Summer of Surf, her never say die attitude.
Jordan Mercer, after last week, you really wanted that win, didn't you?
I definitely did. I had my heart on the line, and in big surf and very testing conditions, it wasn't going to be easy, but I was enjoying myself out there, and I know Amy and I really had a tight race one-on-one after that opening ski leg, but I really, really tried to give it everything I had.
How tough was it racing one-on-one basically the whole race?
Yeah, it's funny, you know, a lot of the girls were great friends, but when you're in the water, we all want the same thing, and you race fair, but you're definitely really trying to push the limits there, and it came down to that final swim leg, and thank goodness, you know, I held my breath and almost blacked out really trying to hold that wave.
How good was it finding that wave just when you needed it?
Nothing really describes that feeling of getting a wave at the right time, and it doesn't happen very often, but when it does, it's really, I think, the reason why I keep coming back and doing this sport. When the surf is in your favour, nothing else could possibly beat that feeling.
Jordan Mercer, heartbreak last week, straight to the top this week. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So let's check it out. The overall point score after 5 rounds of competition here in our Open Ironwoman at the Summer of Surf. And those two names, all too familiar across all disciplines, but Carly Nerthen and Jordan Mercer, a commanding lead over the rest of the field. And then down there in third spot at the moment, Eliza Smith of BMD Northcliffe, just flying under the radar and doing a great job so far this summer. And then you just take a look at this second page and how tight this point score is. Just a few points separating them. That top 16, all important, and no doubt that'll change as our rounds continue.